for the Holy Father. I want to report that in our area of Bududa, it's not all about even relocation. It's management of relocation. And the police are across the country. The slides and the disasters are not only for Bududa. It's a question of having a policy for the whole country to see how do we manage our environment, how to settle our people. Even those few that have been relocated to Bunambutie and Kiliandongo, the soils are already cracking. It's so dry. And when during the rain season, it's so wet and flooded. So to me, it's to do with the policy.
Kiliandongo also has cracks. Mountains.
Yes. No, our people are settled there. But when during the dry season, the cracks cannot even allow them to do any agricultural activity.
That's why we are saying we need to do afforestation and we need to do a waste disposal monitoring so that we avoid that kind of thing. I mean, we need to do a lot for this country to avoid a lot of... let's have the shadow here.
Right, Honorable Speaker, we thank you so much that you have fast-tracked climate change management. Even last week, you provided us with the space to share the weather forecast. Unfortunately, we didn't have the ministers present, but I'm requesting that you still render us space to share the weather forecast such that we all become ready. Right, Honorable Speaker, the weather forecast, for example, showed that there is going to be an increase in malaria manifestation, and we are going to get a lot of dog bites and snake bites. But right, Honorable Speaker, when you go to our hospitals, most district hospitals have less than 10 doses for dog bites, and the doses are very expensive. So even when you look at most deaths of children now in most hospitals, it is due to malaria. So, right, Honorable Speaker, we thank you that the weather forecast was going to give us insights. They reported that this is good time for tourists. But yesterday, people from Rwenzori reported that all the ice is melting. So some of our staff who have been inviting tourists to come and give us money should be cognizant of this, because you might bring people and they pay for nothing. But now that the ice is melting, our lakes are going to overflow. What we need to do now is to desilt dams and also the drainages, such that as the water increases after the melting of this ice, we are able to cushion all the water from the melting. Right, Honorable Speaker, we find that the tourists would come in big numbers, but also the way, especially us people from National Unity Platform, we are handled, it threatens them. Yet we would use this season to attract more of the tourists. Right, Honorable Speaker, the proposals for relocation of some of these populations is also lacking. Some people are given options to leave my Chief Whip's place to some other places, which the population considers to be very infertile. They are not willing to go there. The best thing to do is to provide the money, and these people look out for where they can settle. Otherwise, this business of we have found this place, which is very infertile for these people to go to, they will not accept and they will never accept. Those are some of them.
Thank you. Honorable Okao, you see like those rocks of ours, the cracks. When you see as a leader, when you see the cracks, when you sense there are cracks, the best thing that we can do is to educate our people the dangers of such cracks. Much as that area of ours is very fertile, people may not want to live, but they have to know the dangers. So we need to continuously educate them.
No, the level of awareness is extremely high for our people. As we talk, those that hail from the high-risk hills stay in places of worship and schools. And the ministry, the line ministry is aware of this. What our shadow minister of environment has just alluded to, the compensatory approach should be implemented fully. People are willing to be compensated and they relocate to wherever they so choose.
Honorable Minister,
But the process is very slow.
What they are asking, what is hard with you giving somebody money and saying, go and get a place of your choice?
Right Honourable Speaker, I just thank colleagues for raising issues. Right Honourable Speaker, you are aware that the intervention in those weather-prone areas like my uncle's is being handled by the Office of the Prime Minister, and it is interministerial, not only the Ministry of Water and Environment. And two, Right Honourable Speaker, we would really all want to save the lives of our people. Sometimes what constrains us and what can be deemed to be like we are lamenting is the budget envelope we have with the other competing priorities. That is why my uncle here is saying the intervention is at a slow pace, not because it is deliberate. We work within the available budget, my Right Honourable Speaker. So I would pray that on this issue, we can still have the Right Honourable Prime Minister convene us back again to fast track the activities therein. I beg to submit.
Honorable Minister, giving the early warning systems to help in sensitizing people and evacuating them to a less risky area, would that really need a lot of giving information and that kind of thing? Would that need a lot of money?
Right Honourable Speaker, let me also apologize that last time that item appeared on the order paper, personally I was in Addis Ababa for a meeting, and when I was called upon, I wasn't, and I would have had another colleague to intervene. But I have the report. Even if you want me to read it now, it is ready, and my apologies. If you put me on the order paper, even now, I can't still present it.
You've not answered what I asked. You've not answered what I asked.
The report has those details, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yes, Kiriadongo.
Thank you, Right Honourable. Talking about relocation of the people who are affected, especially Bududa, we are here mentioning about relocation. But the Bududa community were brought to Kiriandongo by OPM and abandoned. Yes, by OPM. Because as I speak right now, they promised to build 650 houses, but up to today we have less than 100 housing units for those people, and they have completely abandoned them, and they are suffering. No water sources, the roads are not graded. The district tells us they are not, it's not their mandate to take care of these people. OPM is just adamant. So if government is to relocate, we should really put a lot of pressure so that when they relocate these communities, they have to follow up and give them the care that they
Government, can we have the state?
I'm off now.
Government, can we have the state of the people who were relocated from Bududa to Kiriadongo or wherever? We want to know the state of those people in terms of, are there hospitals? Are there roads? Do they have houses? And if it means a committee going to see what is on ground, the committee should go and see what is on ground. Yes.
Madam Speaker, can we get a statement on Tuesday next week?
Let's have a statement, and we'll have a committee to go to the locus. We'll have a committee to go to the locus to see what is happening with our people. Yes, Chut, let's have Chut, then you come.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. In reaction to the issue of the heat wave, northern Uganda is the worst hit. And one of the contributing factors is the indiscriminate charcoal burning and charcoal trade. Before those, the charcoal will go in open vehicles. Now they're in box bodies, they cannot be detected. There is need to come up with strong regulations on charcoal trade in this country. And I request that even another committee goes and looks at the current situation, because it is not the people from northern Uganda burning it. There are people from outside. Secondly, on the issue of afforestation, it should not just be planting trees, but what type of trees we plant. We are cutting down mahogany trees, but replacing with pine trees. Yet a mahogany tree absorbs 20 times more carbon dioxide than the pine tree. That means even if you plant the pine tree, you will not address the issue of the heat wave. So as we're coming up with the ministerial policy statement, the issue on policy of what kind of trees we are planting should come up. And I recall in the 90s, there used to be a tree census. I don't know when was the last time or when we are going to have another tree census to know how many trees we have as a country. Thank you.
Honorable members, now this takes me to when Honorable Dongoto and, and Honorable Gilbert were stopping those people of charcoal, those carrying charcoal, and people felt these people were not serious, but they were doing a right thing. They were doing a right thing. Now you see what is happening. But also the Minister of Energy should get an alternative sources of how people should cook, like using ethanol.
Right, Honorable Speaker, just allow me to respond to that. I thank a colleague for raising it. Indeed, charcoal burning was a problem and is still a problem. But from the policy perspective, His Excellency issued an executive order number 3. That means it needed to be implemented. As we speak, you and me. Right, Honorable Speaker, allow me to speak to this, be protected.
Honorable Minister,
yes.
When Executive Order 3 was issued, who was supposed to implement?
Right, Honorable Speaker, that's what I'm here. I wanted to let colleagues know that our enforcement arm of government, we have even roadblocks on the road. Just a moment, just wait. I will give you. We have roadblocks, right, Honorable Speaker. For example, people who come from the north towards Achua River, we have even UPDF involved. But as the colleague said, they used to transport this charcoal in the open trucks. Now they have changed styles. That needs to be...
What stops you from checking the box body?
It is being checked, right, Honorable Speaker. But, colleagues, let me just explain. I will give you an opportunity. I'm here to listen. We are trying all we can. The biggest challenge is that when the demand and the supply, you know, the demand and supply chain, people smuggle it. What we are doing, you right, Honorable Speaker, you actually alluded that the Minister of Energy needs to put in place the alternative. Order. Government has actually subsidized on the order.
Madam Speaker, the minister has alleged that people who are carrying out charcoal business are smuggling within Uganda, according to her statement. But the English dictionary defines smuggling as going across the border using the porous routes. I don't know whether the minister is alleging that charcoal transportation in the country is smuggling. Moreover, it is a weakness of government where she is in charge of that docket for failing to enforce the regulations. So is the transportation of charcoal within the country a smuggling? Therefore, Madam Speaker, I don't know whether the minister is in order to use that word at this right time.
Honorable members, Honourable members, we must move. Can I hear from Mulop?
Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm glad we are talking a bit about the heat wave question. Meteorologists are telling us that temperatures have soared to 40 degrees Celsius, and they have told us to brace ourselves for even higher temperatures. The most affected areas are especially northern Uganda, and I hope government knows that agricultural production has been affected too. Yes, the heat wave is killing some people, as the examples we have had. People are collapsing and so on. Agriculture is being affected because crops are failing. Animals are dropping dead. Maybe government needs to come up with a comprehensive response to this matter so that we know how we proceed and people can be guided. Honourable Speaker, in the last 10 decades, our forest cover has been eaten up to 41.6%. That's the forest cover we have lost in the last 10 decades. And every year it keeps becoming deleterious. That's the reality before us. Government needs to help us understand what's the plan around these things. Because you see, these are man-made disasters that we see coming that we can impede. What's the plan around that? Finally, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to join you and this House in sending sympathies to the Holy Father. We pray that he recuperates pretty soon. I am not a Catholic, but I pride in the leadership of the Holy Father because I have heard him severally speak about injustice across the world, and that touches my heart. I've seen that same message trickle down even to our priests here in Uganda. Every so often you'll hear them talk about equality, talk about injustice, saying all of us should be equal before and under the law. And that's a critical thing, especially when it comes from our religious leaders. Some of the issues that Honourable Atkins Katusabe has been talking about, critical things that we do here, leaders under the Holy Father talk about. We pray and that they continue to talk about these issues. And we pray that he recuperates, Honourable Speaker. And finally, on that issue, when Honourable Atkins raised the question of, our headquarters being raised and so on, you rightly said we tasked the Attorney General and government to respond. Maybe we'll need to put a timeline to that. Whenever we don't put a timeline, government doesn't respond. With experience, whenever we put timelines, they are under pressure to come back to us. Maybe we need to do that. Thank you, Right Honourable.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Right Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. Last week, I raised an issue concerning Makerere University, where they have spent 8 years without a Deputy Vice Chancellor, Finance Administration. And the process itself, they have been searches for 4 times, but they don't conclude. For some reason is that Parliament would wish to know if the matter is referred to the House Committee. Secondly, the academic registrar is now doubling as the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academics, which is illegal. I have full information that a petition has been lodged to the Speaker's office. If it is true and it is in your wisdom, let the matter be referred to the committee because these things would be fully examined. And now, because you had directed the ministry to bring a statement, they actually were circumventing what you directed, and they pretended as if they are now searching today. Would it be pleasing to you that you refer the matter to the committee, and the business down there be suspended, and give me a short about 2 weeks, so that this committee can really know why a university like Makerere can be there without a vice chancellor, a deputy vice chancellor, for 8 years. I so plead.
Honourable members, I received a petition from Makerere University today. Do you want to say something?
Yes.
The way you're standing, it's like you want.
Yes.
I received a petition today from Makerere University. Unfortunately enough, when the petition was brought I was with Dr. Muyingo. And Dr. Muyingo said, we are already handling this issue. However, that does not stop me from bringing the petition to the House. My team is preparing the petition according to Rule 30 to be brought to the House, and will bring the petition on Tuesday to the House. And I think Doctor has more information.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I thank my brother and the team for raising the issue of Makerere University. As we all know, Makerere University is our oldest university and a university that is known international. And it is true what he has raised on this floor concerning the administrative challenges. And I want to confirm on this floor, Madam Speaker, that surely when an advert was made and the right candidate could not go through, there is still room for another opportunity. But for this specific one, I want to confirm, as my colleague Honorable Mwingo was with you this morning, that the ministry together with Makerere University, we are working on this subject matter. But nevertheless, we can still bring it and discuss it further on this floor. But otherwise, the ministry has taken responsibility and working on it. I thank you.
There is a government wants to say something. Yes, a clarification from Honorable Elijah.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister, I wish he could listen. Honorable Minister, Doctor, you said the rightful candidate did not go through. Can you clarify what you mean by that statement?
Madam Speaker, when we have an advert, there are specific qualification and a specific criteria. And of course, when the people who apply for that position did not meet the qualification, and that's why I said it might not be the right person, and there is still room to get the right person for that position.
Point of order. Point of order.
Honorable members.
Point of order.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Let's avoid some kind of embarrassment in the House. From the documents I looked at, there are people who did interviews. There were 3 people who were subjected to the final interviews, who went through the Senate. From the Senate, they had a written interview. From the written interview, they now had to go into secret ballot. And consistently, one person was leading. Consistently in all the 3 interviews. But when it came to giving instrument, they said you are not the right person. Let's see how to settle this thing quietly without embarrassing ourselves further. Because if it is a person we earmarked or who was earmarked who did not go through or ring-fenced, then next, yes. Prime Minister, as you come in, I also met. I also got a petition from Mbarara University. There's a strike in Mbarara University. There's also a strike in Kiambogo. Save for Honorable Musasisi, who acted on Mbarara very fast, but there's still a strike in Kiambogo. So look at all these universities and see what you can do best and how you can handle the issue.
Right, Honorable.
What you want is a solution.
Right, Honorable.
Yes. Excuse me, you don't switch
Madam
on. My
Speaker.
son, don't switch on.
Madam Speaker.
There is also Gulu.
Madam Speaker, as you have guided, as government, we are going to look into the issues which has been raised by the honourable member about Makerere and the strikes. But I also wanted to use this opportunity because members raised very serious issues regarding the environment, especially banning of, rather, selling of charcoal and others. And the government has a number of initiatives to have alternatives in this regard. I wanted to request, Madam Speaker, if it pleases you, that we can come up with a statement next week to update the House on how far we are going so that we can have an input from this. So I wanted to request that next week we come to
On the
update
heat
the House
waves.
on alternatives, because the issue of environment is so serious that this House needs to continue being updated, but also debating this matter.
Yes. Let's have a statement next week, and we see how best we can mitigate whatever is happening on issues of heat waves and the issue on Madam Disaster. Honorable Abe, our people you transferred from Bulamboli were allegedly dumped in Kiriadongo. They don't have houses, they don't have latrines, they have nothing. So we also want a statement on what you've done to our people in Kiriadongo. And a committee will go together with you to visit the locus and see what is happening with our people. Yes. Next item.
Item 4 on the order paper, laying of papers, the Education Service Commission Annual Performance Report for the financial year 2023-2024.
Honorable members, Article 168(4) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, and Section 8 of Education Service Act 2002 requires Education Service Commission to report to Parliament annually on the performance of the functions of the Commission. And pursuant to Rule 31 of the Rules of Procedure, I will now invite the Minister of Education and Sports to lay the report. Can she lay, then you come.
Madam Speaker.
Yes, please lay.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to lay the Education Service Commission Annual Performance Report for the financial year 2023-2024. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Pursuant to Rule 32(5) and 189 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, the report stands referred to a Committee of Education and Sport for consideration and report back to the House. Aisha.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to raise this matter under point of privilege. Right Honourable Speaker, first I join colleagues in wishing the Pope a quick recovery. But, Right Honourable Speaker, even us as members of Parliament, we are not sure whether we are safe. This morning, we saw someone who set herself on fire in front of Parliament. I expected that was supposed to be...
Was it herself or himself?
I am not sure whether it was her or himself. I didn't see very well the face because the trouser is not enough to tell. But he or she was putting on a yellow trouser. Right Honourable Speaker, I expected this matter to come in your communication. It brings a lot of questions. What was the intention of this person that left his home to come and set himself on fire in front of Parliament. What was he expressing? Did he communicate anything? Is it an attempted suicide? Is it a terrorist action? So not getting information, details on that action leaves us in suspense and puts us in doubt of our security.
Thank
I
you.
pray that you speak to it,
Thank
Right
you.
Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Aisha and Honourable Members of Parliament, I strictly communicate what comes within my knowledge. I am actually hearing what you're saying for the first time. My office is closed. I don't sit in the street there to see whatever happens. I will follow it up and find out what happened. I will find out what happened, and once I've found out what happened, then I will communicate to the members. And if it so happened, then it was a very unfortunate incident. Next.
Most obliged,
Yes,
most obliged, Right Honourable Speaker.
Just,
Thank you.
just know that I'll communicate when I get the information. Yes, Jonah.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Madam Speaker, under the Presidential Elections Act, I recall Section 3 or 4, all aspirants for presidential positions are allowed to hold consultations in preparation of their manifestos, but also gathering the necessary information. One of the intending aspirants, the Honorable Jimmy Akena, MP for Lira East, has kick-started his consultation. He was in Leptong and Otuke, and the police interfered with his consultation to the extent that they fired tear gas. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Jimmy Akena is consulting on behalf of UPC, and we plan to do further consultations in Teso beginning on the 1st. And yesterday, Madam Speaker, you issued a warning to NUP about how to enter Teso. And now we are getting worried because the people of Teso have invited us to go there. But yesterday you said certain things will not happen.
Please go to Teso, but don't bring our old men to parade in town. They can die on here, and you'll have no answer for it. Go to Teso. It's very free. You're very free. Yes.
Thank you. So
UPC is everywhere.
So, Madam Speaker, this question I wanted to ask the executive, because the main point is that the police has started interfering with the right of presidential aspirants. They have started with the UPC, but next time you never know who is next. Yeah, and we...
From Teso. Thank you.
The interference was not in Teso, it was in Lango.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Jonah. We are aware NRM and UPC are in alliance. As the marriage
actually
collapsed,
in bed together.
Yeah, they're in bed together. As there have been problems in the marriage, what is causing all this thing here?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to clarify. The Honorable Elijah Okupa is a former member of UPC. When parents have chosen to divorce, you the children, you don't enter to ask questions. So please note that the UPC is making consultations, but we wanted guarantee from the executive that the law allows aspirants to consult in preparation for their manifestos. And there has been interference. A potential presidential aspirant for Gemma is here.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, I respectfully ask.
Presidential aspirant for Gemma on issues of UPC and NRM. Don't go into it because They are one and the other.
I'm just giving information on matters of the law. Honorable Jonathan, actually the law says a year before the nomination, people who intend to contest can actually engage in consultations. So I, in addition to what you are saying, I hope they get to know that it's actually a legal command. That's the information I wanted to share.
There is another information from
But I'll be a presidential candidate in the coming years, not now.
Nalebtong.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, on the issue that was raised by my brother, Honourable Jonathan, about the UPC team in my district of Alebtong, the information I have, which I would like to give, is that we had challenges. The UPC team were not following the guidelines which were issued by the IGP. And I'm talking about what I have, which was issued in the letter. And these are all our people. So what caused the tension was majorly because the guidelines which were issued were not being followed. Otherwise, whatever went on in my district was largely peaceful, except on 2 incidences, which was about failure to follow the guidelines.
Thank you. That is the landlady talking. That is the landlady. Yes, Honorable Jonathan, can you finish?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wanted to take information, then I conclude.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the information I wanted to give is that in 2016, in the case of Honorable Mambaba's against His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Supreme Court was very clear on that aspect of consultation by those who intend to be candidates, presidential, and even gave the guidelines on how it must be done. So I invite and implore our colleagues who intend to contest as the presidents that you look at that particular provision and then read,
the guidelines.
yes, and read what the Supreme Court said as far as consultations are concerned, so that you get to know the guidelines on how Supreme Court guided on that particular aspect. And in that way, we shall avoid all these fights that we are talking about.
Thank you.
That's the information I wanted to give. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I thank colleagues who have provided useful information, and I disregard the ones that are not useful. The ones that are not useful. So I kindly ask, Madam Speaker, that the executive answers to this question to reassure the country and all potential presidential and even other aspirants that their right to consult and prepare their manifestos are guaranteed. If there are any guidelines issued as alleged, that guideline must come to Parliament here so that we can check to see it conforms to the spirit of the law that we passed. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Government.
Madam Speaker, I want to thank the Honorable Jonathan, a member of the UPC, for raising that concern. And on behalf of government, we want to assure you, as you already know, that government will continue to guarantee the rights of every Ugandan as long as you are working within the law. So if the UPC candidate is operating within the law, we will and we shall protect their right.
Next.
Item 7 on the order paper, bill second reading.
Honorable members, I want you to bear with me. There is a bill, not a very long bill, but the minister would love to leave early. We could dispose of that bill, then we come back to the normal to the other item. So kindly bear with me.
Item 7 on the order paper, Bill's second reading, the Human Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill 2023.
Honorable members, as you may be aware, parenthood comes with numerous challenges, some of which are related to fertility and reproductive health. Human assisted reproductive technologies have emerged as a solution to have these challenges resolved. However, there is a need to have the legal, ethical, and social regulations for application of such technologies. The bill is aimed at providing an appropriate legal regime to govern the application of human-assisted reproductive technologies. You may recall on 21st July 2022, Honorable Saro Pendi was granted leave to introduce the Human-Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill as a private member pursuant to Article 94(4)(b) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 121 of the Rules of Procedure. She tabled the bill for the first reading on Tuesday, 5th March 2023, and it was referred to the Sectoral Committee on Health in line with the Rule 129(1) of the Rules of Procedure. The committee is ready with the bill and ready to report. However, before the committee reports, the Minister of Health will first move a motion to that effect. The sponsor and sponsor will work together with the minister.
Thank you so much, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, as you have been told, I want to thank you for accepting this bill to come before because of the reasons that have been mentioned. Right. Wait for me. The Prime Minister. No. No. She's the one who has called me. That's what I wanted to say.
Honorable members, before we get the minister, the AG has an opinion to that effect.
Madam Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the Human Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill has been called. However, I humbly pray that this bill be deferred for a very short time to allow us as Attorney General's chambers and the First Parliamentary Council to harmonize a few things, because there are some technical areas. We need to look at the bill of the Ministry of Health.
Yes, Flavia.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are not going to sit in this parliament as members of parliament who have an order paper, who have various bills that are always introduced to us in time, and are very ready to look at the work that we have to process in Parliament. And then we have a whole Attorney General coming here informing us that they are very unprepared in their team to be able to listen to a bill at a second reading, as if they never knew that there was a bill that was going to be presented. Is it in order for the Attorney General to display his levels of recklessness, unpreparedness? What else? Other words, all those negative words. Is it in order for him to come here and
Honorable
distribute that?
Flavia,
Thank you very much.
Honorable Flavia, that's a very harsh word. It is unparliamentary. Yes, Honorable Flavia. Honorable Flavia, you've just said the very harsh word that I can't mention it. Just withdraw that one.
Honorable Speaker, let me just remove which word? Reckless. Okay, unprepared and incompetence. And the
no.
Unpreparedness, okay. And they even request us to reschedule a whole parliament when the minister is even very ready to present. That is very, very unjust and unfair and insensitive.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Right on, Speaker.
Procedure.
Information.
Yes, yes.
Right on, Speaker.
Honorable members.
Clarification.
Honorable members. Processing a bill is not that easy. The members have put a lot of energy to prepare this bill. You cannot come to us at this time. You cannot come to us at this time and say we are not ready, we need to harmonize. I am, honorable members, when I look at the number of persons who were consulted on this bill, look at the bill itself. It will show you the kind of people who were consulted, including Mulago Hospital, the Women Hospital, all those kind of people were consulted. If I am giving you time, because this is a simple bill, and this bill was drafted by senior doctors, gynos, can I have the bill tomorrow on the order paper?
Madam Chair, permit me to clarify to the House. On the 9th of April last year, a letter was written requesting that we sit and harmonize. This letter was written by the Minister of Health. This harmonization was not done.
By Minister who?
The letter I have here, and I'm going to lay it on table, it is written by the Minister of Health. So this was not done. I feel uncomfortable processing this bill now. That's why I requested that it be deferred. And I'm comfortable if the Speaker says tomorrow, I'm going to sit with the Honorable Cheng and the First Parliamentary Council and the Ministry of Health, and we see what can be done. So just to clarify to my colleague who thinks it is recklessness, it is not.
Honorable AG, you said you're not comfortable with the bill? Are you
Right,
okay
Honorable,
with it tomorrow?
I said I will take your guidance to come. We are going to have a discussion with the
Okay.
Dr. Acheng.
Granted. We will have that bill on the floor tomorrow. And Honorable Sarah is just exercising her constitutional mandate under Article 94, 4B of the Constitution of Uganda, and Rule 121 of the Rules of Procedure. I mean, if you don't show a sign and come and do reconciliation with a private member, what do we do? Should we stop working because you're too busy? We can't.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. And I want to thank you for the patience and the guidance. Right Honorable Speaker, I remember I appeared before you and the Honorable Saro Pendi. You advised us that we should wait for the Attorney General, and because of the reasons that you had given in my case, and we waited for the Attorney General, and the Attorney General, we are on your advice that me, as a Minister of Health, private member, and Attorney General, as you have guided, we sit, we reconcile. Even we are not consulted in all this. We are not against the bill. We are not against the bill. We are only going with the Attorney General per the Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker directed me and Sarah to consult with him. So what is Honorable Pendi? So we agree, Honorable Pendi, we have been waiting for the Attorney General. He is here. So the three of us, we are going to meet and we finish.
Go. Honorable members, Honorable Anifa, Honorable AG, Honorable Sarah, go and harmonize. And the chair of the committee and the vice chair of the committee, go and harmonize.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, it's okay to harmonize, but I'm also aware that the Committee of Health invited various stakeholders, including the Ministry of Health. So since you have guided that we have this bill tomorrow, it is okay with me. I think we'll go and reconcile and get back to you. But I know that the team did an excellent work, Right Honorable Speaker. And when you look at the committee report, yes, they agree with most of the provisions that we actually have in that bill.
You want to debate in anticipation?
No, I'm not debating. I'm just informing
No.
you.
Go.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Go and do it. Honorable members, in the VIP gallery this afternoon, we have a delegation of officials from Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda, who are part of the joint East African bid that we won the rights to host the African Cup of Nations in 2027. That is AFCON. They include Honorable Kabudi, the Minister of Information, Culture, Art and Sports of United Republic of Tanzania. You're most welcome, Honorable Minister. The Mr. Mushigwa Gasson, the PS Ministry of Information, Culture, Art and Sports, United Republic of Tanzania, you're most welcome. Engineer Peter Tum, the PS of Youth, Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Republic of Kenya, you're most welcome. And they are accompanied here by the Ugandan officials. We have Dr. Gwel. You are most welcome. They are here on a courtesy visit. They've been brought here by Honorable Gwang Peter, the Minister of State for Sports. You're most welcome. Join me in welcoming them. Honorable Ministers and the PSCs, you're most welcome to Parliament of Uganda. And we want to thank you for the work you're doing for AFCON. And Uganda is always home. You're always most welcome home. And we wish you well in the preparation of AFCON 2027. Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, first of all, on behalf of the Minister of Education and Sports, the First Lady, on behalf of the FA President Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania, and on behalf of CAF, in a special way, I would like to begin by thanking Parliament for supporting the Pamoja bid AFCON 2027 and CHAN 2024. Colleagues, we have just concluded a very important meeting here in Uganda under the invitation of CAF. CAF is the Confederation of African Football. I would like to thank my colleagues, the Honorable Ministers of Sports from Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. And I want to say thank you for coming home. This is our National Assembly. You're most welcome. I also want to thank the permanent secretaries of the 3 East African countries of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. I've been corrected here by the leader of opposition that I should say, Karibu Nyumbani Sana, in the spirit of East Africa. Friends, I want to conclude by saying it's a reality. Beginning 2nd of August 2025, we will be hosting 19 countries of the African continent in the CHAN competition here in Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. We have just concluded an inspection by CAF 2 days ago, and I confirm we are ready to welcome Africa to East Africa. I wish you all the best, and I say all this for God and my country. As Uganda, Madam Speaker, in a special way, I would like to thank you for always being there for sports in Uganda. Thank you so much for standing with us whenever we talk about sports in Uganda. I thank you.
Thank you so much. You know, honorable members, Honorable Gwang,
yes. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for the information that he has given, and to the guests that have visited us in Uganda. Welcome to Uganda. However, as you all know, women also play football. So when I see a delegation of men alone, I am wondering where the women are. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to request and appeal to the Minister and to our guests that I hope that there is space for the women to also be part of your delegation. Thank you so much.
Madam Speaker, for the record, Honorable Pend is aware that the Minister of Education and Sports is a woman, and she's the one who was chairing the meeting. So for the record first, that makes it complete.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Pend is politely asking that can she give the visitors a push. That is polite.
Madam Speaker, I welcome Honorable Pendi for giving us with your permission. And by the way, our dear guest, Honorable Pendi, comes from Tororo. And when I talk about Tororo, Tororo is at the border between Uganda and Kenya. So we can be able to welcome, to allow with permission from Speaker that we really permit us to allow
Thank
Honorable
you.
Penda Company.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming. And as a way to host Chan, we pray that one of the countries becomes the leader. One of the three countries becomes the winner. Either Uganda, Tanzania, or Kenya, because they are all in the 19. No, it is Ubuntu, the principle of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. You know, one time we were asking the president, when we go to Tanzania, I wish we could beat those people. Then the president said, no, even if they beat, that is our first home. So we are all brothers and sisters. You're welcome, and we thank you so much for coming. Next statement.
Item 3 on the order paper.